Today, we're going to talk about the mindset in the inner game of weight loss. If you're someone out there right now who wants to lose some weight, you want to lose some fat, you want to tone up, then this video is going to be incredibly important for you. Because the simple fact is this: yes, we need to focus on your nutrition and our exercise to lose weight. Those are pillars of weight loss, but your mindset is the container of all of this. Because our mindset ultimately creates our behaviors that then create the body. Right? So if we have the right mindset, we can stay on track more, we can feel more motivated, we can stick through tough times and temptations, and this is a skill that can be trained. You can recreate the proper mindset, and what I want to do in this video is effectively give you what I believe are 10 of the most successful weight loss mindsets that I've personally seen from coaching 60,000 of our Fit Father and Fit Mother program members all around the world. I get to see people who succeed wildly, like these photos right here, and make incredible transformations. And I also get to see people who succeed for a little bit and then fall off track or really struggle to get started. And if you felt this way, this video is key for you. So let's get straight into our first one. The first weight loss mindset is the people who succeed radically is they commit fully and deeply. And what I mean by this is it's really easy to say, oh, I want to lose some weight. Oh, I want to have a better looking body. Most of us could say that. We want to have some kind of change. But the people who really succeed, they make a deep commitment, like a deep commitment that's so visceral that this is the time they're getting this done. I am losing the weight, I'm keeping it off, and these are my reasons why. I'm doing it because I want to feel out of alignment with my body and my health. I'm doing it so I can go be there for my kids and my grandkids. I'm doing it because I'm scared I'm going to have a heart attack like my dad. You need to find your deep reasons. You need to connect to those. And what we specifically do with our Fit Father and Fit Mother program members is before we even give them the meal plan, we have them go through a journaling and reflection exercise where they look at their current behaviors right now and they future cast that out. Like, what's going to happen in 10 to 15 years if you don't make any changes? Look at all the pain that can happen, whether it's early death, tons of money spent on medical bills, more time just felt frustrated and lack of energy and feeling like you're losing your vitality. And then also future cast what it looks like if you do make these changes. And when you get these two contrasts and you really connect to these reasons emotionally, what we call it is finding your why power. And you keep that why power on the forefront of your mind. Because when you have that and you've connected to that and you've made that clear, in 5 weeks from now, when you're really tempted at night with some ice cream or chips, you can look at those things, reconnect to the why power, and frame it. It's not worth it. And it won't be worth it in that moment, and you have more strength and power. So that's number one. Connect deeply and fully and find your why power. Number two, the proper mindset is the people who succeed is they get a plan and they adopt the mindset of working the plan. Really, when it comes to losing weight, it's about winning the day. You need a simple plan with your nutrition that you can follow regularly. You need some kind of healthy meal that you break your fast with, whether that's a breakfast at 8 a.m. or you intermittent fast till 11 or noon. You need to have a simple plan, and your focus then becomes working the plan. Instead of having that outcome goal, which is I want to lose 50 pounds, which is important to set in the beginning, every day you focus on the process goal of working the plan. And I think that's really key. If you're someone who does not have a plan and you're like, I think I'm just going to generally cut back on my carbs, eat a little less food, that's too vague of a process. What the mind really craves to be successful and be able to channel that focus power of the mind is structure. Get a plan, work a plan. And if you need help with a plan, my team and I can help you. You can check the links in the description. We have free meal plans, free workouts, and of course our paid programs. Find a plan, work a plan. Weight loss mindset number 3 is check the daily boxes. I believe when it comes to our bodies that we have a couple daily boxes we need to check for well-being. One is hydration, one is healthy nutrition, and one is proper movement, and then the other one is sleep. These are like 4 boxes, and you could probably delineate more boxes, but I think this is a good one to focus on. When you wake up in the morning, check the box of the hydration. Throughout the day, check the box of the nutrition. Later on, check the box with the movement. And at nighttime, check the box with getting to bed on time. The mindset here is that what you're focusing on every single day is checking those boxes. There's going to be some days where you check all of those boxes. It was a great day, you kicked butt, you got your hydration, you ate healthy meals, you even got a workout in, and you got to bed on a good, reasonable amount of time. But there's other days where you might miss some boxes. Things got busy, you weren't able to get the workout in, that's okay. The mind frame and the mindset here is that you're working on checking boxes and you're trying to do the best you can, but if a box is missed, that's okay. You recognize that and you pivot to the next day. And this leads me to weight loss mindset number 4, which is incredibly related, is we are in the game of progress over perfection. Probably the single most damaging mindset that leads people to all these yo-yo diets and failing is the all or nothing mindset. This idea that there's some kind of perfect plan that you can follow and you need to be perfect to succeed. And if you really put yourself in that kind of pressure on yourself, you do well for a little bit, but that causes friction and eventually life happens and you do fall off track. And then you're like, screw it, I'm off the plan. And you throw everything out the window and you go back to dramatically different habits. Whereas if you can focus on progress, how can I just check the daily boxes a little more consistently? And how can I realign if I missed one of those boxes? You're going to be successful. This weight loss is not about being perfect. It's about trending in a particular direction over a long period of time. You do this and you focus on that kind of mindset, you're going to actually be building habits that can sustain your results. And that's the key. Now, weight loss mindset number 5, it's a fresh day, refocus. And this is really just the reality of our lives. Each day we get up, we have another period, another 12 to 24 hours, whatever you want to call the waking day versus sleeping, to really just focus on doing well with our body. So if we did something yesterday that wasn't great, maybe we drank a bunch of alcohol, maybe we ate a meal that we didn't like and we're feeling a little bloated, today is a new day to refocus. And if we honestly approach our lives like this every single day, that this is a new opportunity to refocus, we're not going to have these huge drifts where we go off the rails. Sure, we might have not done great last night, maybe that was not a good decision, but today we have a new chance to get going again. And this is why I'm such a huge advocate of making sure that you dial in the morning each day. You wake up, you rehydrate, 16 to 32 ounces of water. That is a simple habit, but it's not just like your body needs water in the morning. It absolutely does. It's also a little bit of like an action of commitment towards this fresh new day, that today I'm going to start this day with something that my body absolutely needs, healthy water, boom. And if you dial in your meal number 1, that first meal that you have, whether that's breakfast early in the morning or you intermittent fast later into the day, and that is a structured meal, that meal is also a positive reinforcement that gets you going and gets you going in this good direction. So today is a new day, refocus. The additional mindset that's very related to that, but a little more on the positive momentum side, is it's a fresh day, do even better. Let's say you have been kicking butt for this last few weeks. You can wake up every day and be like, how can I do it even better? Well, I had a good workout yesterday. Maybe I can go even harder and push even more today. I had a great job with my nutrition yesterday and I'm feeling good and I'm losing some weight. Maybe I can try to make a new type of healthy meal and maybe just invest a little bit more. Maybe I can take an extra walk. Maybe I can sleep a little more. You're starting to look, and your mindset now becomes one of possibilities. I have positive momentum. How do I do even more? And this simple thing, this sounds like simple stuff, right? But this mental stuff is what ultimately shapes our behaviors and drives our emotions, which then really just feeds back into the results that we create. Mindset is so key because it's the container of all the habits that you want to focus on. Now, the next one is track your progress and celebrate your wins. The people who wildly succeed, they track their progress. What we recommend for most of our Fit Father and Fit Mother program members is to start weighing yourself daily. If you want to lose weight, I love the idea of weighing yourself daily. The reason being, it's not that we're trying to see the scale go down every single day, but we're checking in. What's the body's weight today? What's it tomorrow? What's it the next day? And when you do these things, you get data points. You get to learn more about your body. It's like, oh wow, I dropped 3 pounds. What happened? Was there something that particularly happened? Or if you gained some weight, oh, maybe you went out and you had some sushi and there was some soy sauce and you drank a little water. Maybe you're retaining some water. So you're tracking your progress, and weight is one of those. You could also track measurements, progress pictures, give yourself milestones along this journey that give you structure, and then celebrate the wins. Certainly there's going to be weight loss wins on the scale, but equally important, and probably even more important, are what we call NSVs, non-scale victories. These are maybe a comment from a friend or a family member. Maybe you walked up the stairs and you're not winded anymore. Maybe your heart rate is now lower, or some blood pressure metrics went down. Maybe you just feel absolutely fantastic and you feel alive for the first time in many weeks. These are all NSVs. They come in many different forms, but if you're able to be conscious to those, what NSVs are, I like to think of them as like ornaments on this Christmas tree. You're putting on ornaments and it makes your tree more fun and decorative. And when you pile on more NSVs, those are in your mindset, giving you a little bit of wind in your sails, pushing you forward. The people who are successful and have a really positive relationship to this weight loss journey, they look for NSVs, they celebrate them. Even if they're small, they're going to help give you momentum, and they also reinforce your why, as we talked about in weight loss mindset number 1. So the next one is to observe temptations and fall back on your why when you do have those. Look, you're always going to have some kind of temptation come up in your life when it comes to this. It's like, even if you do lose all the weight and get the body you actually deserve and you really want to have in your life, well then maybe, you get to a point where you think that all these cravings are going to go away. It's just not true. There might be a day where you're stressed and you'll still have cravings late at night for some kind of food or during the day for this particular kind of thing. The really unique thing about our mind, though, is we can actually be in the seat of the observer. We can observe, I'm having a craving right now. I really want that candy. I really want that soda or those chips. And you can observe that. And you can create space between that stimulus and your actual response. You don't have to be a slave to every craving that pops up and go for it. And this is a skill that is trained. Because many of us, we get into the habits of just falling temptation to the craving. And then it becomes easier because we're creating more neural grooves to temptation happens, I act on temptation. Temptation happens, I act on temptation. But when we begin to practice a little bit more, what ends up happening is we can observe temptation, I am experiencing temptation, and we can then make a powerful choice to do something different. And this is amazing to me. I think this is really like our core personal power that we can exert in face of any kind of obstacle or mental thing that comes up for us. And when you do practice this more and more, it gets to a point where you can see something, you're like, oh, I feel that I have a temptation right now. Is this actually what's going to serve me in my best interest? You can ask yourself these conscious questions. And then you can also reflect on your why power, and the chances are you're not going to fall prey to that same temptation. And the more you say no to that, and the more you're able to observe and choose something differently, you're creating more neural grooves in this positive path, and things end up getting easier. But look, the temptations don't ever go away. You know, maybe they do for some people, but for me, I've been doing this health and fitness stuff for coming up on like 2.5 decades now. And I still have it from time to time, but I've made such a good commitment to neural grooving in the positive direction that it doesn't really bother me as much, and I can observe that and choose differently. Now, the next weight loss mindset, number 9, is to focus on the fact that this is a new lifestyle for you. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle, not a diet. This is a new way of living. And ultimately, this means that in the very beginning of your weight loss journey, you need to be on a plan that's sustainable, that actually feels like a lifestyle shift, not some crash diet. Look, if you're someone who does enjoy carbohydrates and like you do like some carbs in your meals, so maybe you like some pasta or some rice or some breads, do you think you're going to be able to stick to the 0 carbohydrate plan for the rest of your life? To me, that kind of seems like a diet. What I think and really what we really advocate in our programs is a more balanced approach that really limits the bad kinds of carbohydrates, but keeps some of them in your diet in the right portions at the right times and of high quality, so you're not feeling super restricted. So this feels like a lifestyle. If something feels like a diet and it feels like it's very extreme and radical, it's likely not something you're going to be able to stick to long term. And if it's not something you're going to stick to long term, why are you putting in all the effort right now to groove all these patterns for something that you're eventually going to fall off track on? So I say, let's start sustainable from day number 1. Make the commitment to a lifestyle. Make the commitment to healthier choices and behaviors and a healthier mindset. And finally, number 10, the weight loss mindset that successful people have is that progress comes in waves. When it comes to losing weight, it's not this linear drop. Sure, in the beginning of your journey, you may lose weight pretty quickly and pretty consistently. 3-5 pounds every single week is possible if you're very heavy. And as you get going, sometimes there are places where you hit a stall and you'll be plateaued for a little bit. Knowing that this is part of the process, knowing that the body releases weight in waves is very key. Because there's so many variables here. It's not just like every minute of every day you're burning fat. Sometimes you're retaining water. Sometimes there's changes to your digestive system. Some days your metabolism is just not really, burning as much as it could have. Point being, weight loss comes in waves for many different reasons. And if you know this and you expect this, then when you do hit a plateau, it's not discouraging. It's just part of the process. And what do you do when you're in a plateau? You go and you reference weight loss mindset number 3, focus on checking the daily boxes. Am I checking my boxes? Can I check my boxes even better? And if you keep on focusing on this process, eventually the weight will begin to move. And a little bit of a pro tip, one thing I find very helpful if you are on a weight loss plateau is to start to do some intermittent fasting of many different kinds, whether it's a 24-hour fast, like a have dinner one day and fast until dinner the next day, 1 to 2 times a week. That can help break a plateau. And there's many other cool tips that we share inside our programs on how to do that. The point of this video, these are 10 powerful weight loss mindsets. In many ways, I believe these are even more important than getting into the specifics of this kind of protein food or this kind of carbohydrate food or this type of exercise. The mind is what shapes your behaviors. Your behaviors are what's going to shape your body. So let's work on the mind and the actions together and you will be successful over the long term. I hope you found this valuable, my friend. Thank you for being here. This is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi from the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project. I'll see you around our content and I'll talk to you very soon.